Maybe the first one to say it.
Go ahead.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
52 weeks on the air at WRMN.
Can you believe it?
That's a lot
That's
more than a lot of people can say.
year. Look what has happened in this last year to all of us, but also all the people that we've helped with the show and through
Yes.
all kinds of
Yes.
everything that we've done, and Elgin's Biggest Loser, and all the guests that have been on to promote their causes and everything, and it's just fabulous.
It's been a wonderful ride, and I have a feeling it's just begun.
I'm hoping
I
it's
think
just begun.
You look fantastic as always.
Thank you. I'm real nervous today.
You
Isn't that
shouldn't be
odd?
nervous. You should be more relaxed today.
My hands are sweaty and my
It's like it's your
coughing.
first week all over again.
It's like
huh?
I'm ready to do a run at Aspen Mountain or something. Yeah, it is. It's like my first week. But you know what? Sunday when we did the Tribute to the Troops
Yeah, yeah.
show, and it was for hours, it was fabulous for those of you who tuned in. And we had a great time, and I had no script and just a very
Great.
few notes.
Uh-huh.
And it was just tremendous confidence booster.
Fantastic,
We just kept
fantastic.
pinging everything around the studio between all of us. It was great. You know something? I don't know, because we have so many things planned today. And in the studio with us today are my pal Mike Hunziker, who you just heard from, and my co-host Jeff Myers, and Julie Belanger and Valerie Swan are our two YouTube camera girls. And today's show is brought to you by...
Good folks. The Taylor YMCA swim lesson sign-up is open for all ages as well as the swim team. And don't forget Family Night this upcoming Friday, November 12th from 6 to 8. The theme is Game Night, and it's free for members, $5 family if you have an adult or a youth membership, and $10 family for non. So that's the way things are going. And tonight is Women's Wellness Week and Week Night at the Taylor YMCA. And don't forget the Taylor YMCA, of course, is located right there in North McLean. Their phone number is 847-888-410. How about Dr. Claire Elias? Can we talk about Dr.
Yes,
Claire?
please do. I just saw her again today.
And she had flawless posture, as
Yes,
she would,
she
because
does.
she is so good. Of course, she is your doctor of chiropractic, and she also has a large Medicare practice and also insurance folks as well. So make sure you know that. She's located, of course, in the fine city of Elgin, Larkin Avenue, 2001 Larkin Avenue. You can call Dr. Claire at 847-888-9988. Yeah, she looked great today, Dr. Claire Elias, on hand at Elgin Community College for a special
Veterans.
235th anniversary of Marines.
Happy birthday, Marines. Cake
Yes,
cutting,
absolutely.
oldest Marine,
Yes,
youngest
yes.
Marine. I was there. Did eat frosting off of a piece of cake.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Listen, I have more to tell you about the informational meeting at the Y tonight, but we're going to hold off because we have some interview. We have an interview with someone very special to get through, and then around 3:15, I'm told somebody's going to be calling. But anyway, we need to thank snobhounds.com, K9 Company, think Nike meets Don Karen, but for canines, and KC Tool, an automotive specialty tool company available through your staff. Mobile tool distributor. And let me see, our special in-studio guests today are Rick Rigner, President and CEO of the Prairie Valley YMCA here in Elgin, who brought along a very special guest, Rosibel Martinez, the National General Secretary of Honduras YMCA. In other words, she's the CEO and President of the YMCA in the Honduras. And the Honduras Y is the sister YMCA of our very own Taylor Y right here in Elgin, and Rosibel is here visiting. And after we hear from her, we'll slip into my first anniversary festivities and celebration, and maybe just talk with whoever shows up in their studio. And if no one shows up, you guys will talk to me, right?
Of course we will.
Yes.
But listen, we've got another jam-packed show today. I need to tell you about what today is, and also our quote of the week is, I wonder if you guys will get this one. Do you remember who said, "You never know how good it can be till you've found out how bad it can get"?
Ooh, I think Clark Gable. Wasn't that right? Mike, we talked about this in the green room. Rick?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
All right. Sounds good
All
to
right.
You guys are
We
stumped.
pass.
We've passed. Nelson Algren. We
Oh,
talked
of
about it
course.
with Art Shea on Sunday night's Sunday show.
Pithy.
Huh?
Yeah.
He's pithy.
Yeah.
He's pithy, yes. He's
George
a
E.
very
Robinson
pithy
telling
guy.
us that.
So anyway, the future's in your hands. You can make the most of it. You're listening to the Laura Dion-Jones Show. This is our 52nd show. We've been on the air 1 year. And call in and wish us all a happy anniversary at 847-931-1410. And let's welcome our first guest, Rick Rigner, President of and CEO of the Prairie Valley YMCA. Taylor Branch, want to say hello.
Hello.
And also Rosibel Martinez from the Honduras YMCA. And again, she's the sister YMCA of our very own Taylor Y. And for our listeners who aren't real sure where Honduras is, it's Central America, yes?
Yeah.
Western border is Guatemala, southwest is El Salvador, southeast is Nicaragua, and to the south is the Pacific Ocean. So you guys have oceanfront. On the Gulf of Fonseca, and that's an F1 racing team, Fonseca Racing.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. You know that?
Yeah.
Cool. And to the north is the Gulf of Honduras. It's a large inlet of the Caribbean Sea. So that's where Honduras is. It's like not right around the corner, but I think it's a nice place if we want to go there for a vacation and visit the Y. And
My island, good for
Your-
vacation.
your island is good for vacation?
Yeah.
And I know it's not that big. It is. You only have like 8 million people, and you have a strong Mayan roots that date back centuries. And Rick, tell us, how did you start your relationship with the YMCA of Honduras, and what does it mean to our Y here in Elgin?
Well, it started in 2007. I made an immersion trip to Central America as our effort to get a better cultural understanding of people of Central America, and probably really connected with the Honduras YMCA at the time. As the YMCA is not only a national movement, we are a worldwide movement, and it's important that we're working on a global level to support YMCAs around the world. So Honduras was a good choice for us, and we've been supporting their efforts, which I'm sure Rosabel will mention, for the last 3 years.
Listen, Rosabel, did you grow up in Honduras?
Yes, I was born in Tegucigalpa and I grew up in Honduras.
And tell us, what is your professional experience that led to your YMCA work?
Well, I was work with the Rican Foundation and Human Rights for Women and Children after, and then right now with the YMCA, and it's a good experience.
It is a good experience, and I'm really proud to know that you guys have this organization for the kids, the youth in your country. Give us a little overview of the YMCA of Honduras. Like, what are main priorities of the Y under your leadership?
Well, we need to work with improve opportunities to young people, human rights, and leadership and employment to young people in my country.
How's the human rights situation with Honduras?
Oh, at this moment, the situation is very difficult because we have a political situation difficult. But we want to work with young people to keep up and take more civil spaces and work for human rights, respects, and adults need to work for attending more the young people and give them more spaces and opportunities.
What role does your YMCA play in youth civic engagement? And give us an example how you get the kids involved in civic engagement.
Well, the young people need to trust in themselves and need to have many skills for the living skills and skills in others. In other spaces like skills in computers, skills for trust in themselves, for talk in front of other people, for express what they thinking, and they have a space in YMCA Honduras to do that.
You know what? I'm surprised and I'm delighted to know that you provide more for the youth of your country besides sports. You know, swimming and everything, that it's as rounded of an education or a program as we give the kids here. Am I making sense by saying that? Do you know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
What are some of your personal aspirations for your Honduran youth? How would you like to see your kids progress and grow?
Well, we want to grow with them to stay more at the school, not go out at the school and know about the rights, about the values, and have more vision for their lives and how they can do many things. For example, how they can have a relationship, about rights in sexual relations in other spaces.
Plus to stay in school and you show them what the potential is, what they can achieve if they get a good education.
Yes, they have a good education, and it's like the family need to talk about more than these topics, but the school don't talk about this topic, and we want to talk more with the young people about that.
And make the kids more aware of the opportunities that are present for
Yes.
them. What do you believe is the role of your youth as future leaders of your country?
Well, in my country, maybe 50% of the population is young people. And
Yeah?
Yeah.
Under what age, do you know? Just young,
Yeah,
50%.
25,
Under,
25 and
under 25 and under 50%
Yeah.
of the population, holy smoke.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we need to work with them because they are future leaders in our country and political in others. They are the future. in
They're
our
the
country.
future of your
Yeah.
country, all 50% of all those kids. God bless. It sounds to me like this liaison between our two countries and the two YMCA's is very mutually beneficial, not only to you but to us.
Yes, because we have connect two communities, and we have an exchange of the culture and of the resource, and we have an technical resource with the LGIM too, and we know many things. We can work with immigration prevention with them too. Many opportunities, many information, and young people with many information can take better decisions
Mm-hmm.
to their life.
You know what, you guys? Did you boys in the studio with me, and girls, did you know that following the attack on Pearl Harbor, Honduras joined the Allied Nations on December 8th, 1941? And I thought I'd mention that in honor of Veterans Day tomorrow. Honduras was one of the first ones to get right in line for us,
Way to
with
go.
us. I know. Anyway, Rosabelle, where else are you going to visit before you return home? You're going to be here into December, yes?
Yeah, I'll go to participate in a meeting for the government of the United States in other cities, Washington D.C., San Francisco, Tampa, and Minnesota, to know more about how we can work with the young people, how we can take other spaces like cyberspace and work with the young people and violence preventions and other topics.
Very good. Rick, are you going to tour around the country with her? Who's going to accompany her?
I'll ask my boss. I'd love to.
Well, you know what? I think she should see among anything else the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon. When the people come from other countries and they always ask me, what should we see? What is the #1 thing we should see? And I always tell them it's the Grand.
On her trip to Tampa, she'll see that?
No, on her trip to San Francisco.
Oh,
On her trip to
We'll
San
stop on the
Francisco.
way.
Tell
All
the pilot on the plane to announce when you are flying over the Grand Canyon.
Wow.
If
Okay.
nothing else, you will see it from your plane.
I remember.
Trust me, okay? You know what? We'd really like to thank you for being such a wonderful guest today. And Rick, thank you for bringing Russellville to visit us. And please enjoy the rest of your stay in this country. Washington, D.C. is magnificent. You have to go to the Smithsonian and just do it all right. And please stick around, for some more talk. And is someone on the phone?
Yes, we got someone on the phone right now.
We'll be back in a second. Who's here?
I'd like to announce and joining us on the telephone is Jimmy Damon.
Is this,
Jimmy's here.
Is this the real Jimmy Damon, or did... Are you sure? Because maybe George paid one of his Elgin cronies off to imitate you?
Well, he tries that a lot, but you know what? You got the real thing today.
How am I going to know it's really you?
Because I'm going to sing Unforgettable, that's what you are. Unforgettable, though near or far. Like a song of love that clings to me. And I'm here to sing a happy anniversary to you today. Isn't that wonderful? You've got a whole year behind you. Isn't that great?
It's incredible.
I think it's fabulous, and you've done so many wonderful things for others, too.
How do you know?
Well, because I get word.
You get word like I get word, huh?
Yeah.
I hear you're at Maxim's tonight.
Yeah, you know what? It's already sold out. It was sold out a couple of days ago. Years ago when my home is Memphis, Tennessee, and so in the world back then, if you didn't play or the Catskill Mountains and stuff like that, you were really not in show business. So I had the opportunity years ago as a kid to sing up there at a place called Saul's Resort, and that's Grow Singers and all that stuff. So a friend of mine named Carla Gordon and I decided we ought to do a show celebrating that great music from that great era, and it's called Borscht Belt Buddies. So
you're kidding.
tonight we're going to do some comedy and a lot of great songs and just get everybody happy again.
Listen, for people who don't know, Maxim's is at 24 East Goethe in...
Right here in Chicago. And most people know where the Pump Room is, which is the Ambassador Hotel.
Yeah.
Well, it's the building just east of it, right next door, and we're in the basement. And Maxim's Maxime's, as they call it, is really world famous, and the city bought it, and they've refurnished it just as it was years ago, and it's a takeoff of the same room in Paris. Red. Everything in it is red.
You're kidding. I didn't know the city bought it.
Yep, they bought it for $1. Then now they're stuck with it.
God, I wish I had known it was for sale for $1.
Yes,
Just
of course.
think, we could be broadcasting from there.
Well, you know what? The next time I do something, you should. And I have a show coming up at Skokie Theater, though.
When?
That's coming up at the end of the month, sort of speaks. I'm sitting here telling you about it, and I don't even have the date. It's the 21st Sunday of this month at 2 o'clock at Skokie Theater. And that show, it's called The Happiness Show.
Well, everybody could always use a little more happiness in this day and age.
And we certainly hope tonight will start that, too. And how about you? What song would you like to hear me sing?
Let's see.
Something from Sinatra, don't you think?
Yeah,
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me know what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship, I adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, in other words, in other words, I love you.
Are we meeting for
Yes, we are.
Jimmy, we're going to log that as a variety show special. That was very good.
Oh,
Like Carol Burnett's returned.
Jimmy Damon sings a cappella.
That's great.
I want to take, you know what, before we go on any further, do you have a couple minutes?
I got plenty of time.
Listen, I want to ask you quickly, I know that you worked for Colonel Tom Parker, and you were the youngest to sign with Sun Records. Is that correct?
Right, that's a true story. My home originally is Memphis, Tennessee, and I am the youngest recording artist that Sun Records had at the time. Never had anyone else, and that was during the years when Elvis was there, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, crazy, Great Balls of Fire, and people like that. But I was, of course, a kid. And in the summertime, the Colonel, who was a good friend, and he liked me a lot, and Elvis, of course, Elvis was much older than I am, but I toured with him in the summertime, and we did a couple of concerts together, and certainly learned a lot about great Colonel Parker. He knew what he was doing. It was a lot of fun. In fact, years later, my conductor, when I was with MCA Decca Records, was a gentleman by the name of Joe Gershio. Joe Gershio wanted to move from New York to Las Vegas, and I was able to put Joe Gershio with Elvis, and Joe Gershio, became the conductor for the last parts of Elvis's life. So whenever you see Elvis in Las Vegas, and you see those reproductions that they have, you'll see Joe Gershio conducting. He used to work for me, and I was able to get him the job there.
Wow.
And those are great to watch because you see a lot of Elvis, behind the scenes. So you see a lot of Joe in those old videos as well.
That's right. And can I tell you, a true story about Elvis myself. When I was recording one afternoon, because, being a kid, you couldn't record late at night. So one afternoon I was recording and Johnny Cash, and I had the Jordanaires as my background, and Charlie Rich was playing the piano and stuff like that. And so I finished the session, and Elvis was in the control room with Sam Phillips, and they came out. Elvis came out and he said, "Man, that was really great." And then he asked me to do him a favor, and he said if I ever decided to go into show business, would I always include a song that which was his favorite, and he asked me to sing it. And I said, I was 12, 15 years old. What am I going to say? Yes, of course, yes, sir. So, but this is a song, and I put it in my show whenever I have a show, and this is a song he asked me to sing always. And it goes like this: wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Should I stay? Would it be a sin? For I can't help falling in love with you.
Thank you very much.
Bravo.
You got it.
Great.
Listen,
Yes.
I don't want you dashing off yet. I got a couple more questions.
Ask me anything.
Nick the Lounge Singer.
That's me.
That's a good question.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Yes, when I first started, of course, we were all hanging out on Wells Street and those restaurants that had, piano playing situations.
The steak joint.
Yeah, the steak joint, you know it. And I
And
used to sing there, and was trying to learn my craft. And it was during those Second City days that Bill Murray and all the rest of those guys used to come and hear me sing. Used to hang out. We used to all hang out together. And I don't know if you know the story about that, but Bill was on Saturday Night Live, but he just did not have a character. So they really, he had no place for him. So he came back, and he morphed Jimmy Damon, and he morphed what I was doing at the steak joint. And because I sing around to everybody, that kind of stuff. And he wound up becoming Nick the Lounge Lizard. And so he owes me his career.
he sure does. I think you should be on Saturday Night Live.
I think he needs to recreate what I did for him and have me do it.
I have a couple more questions. Do you know a woman? She'd recently passed away, actually, this February. Her name was Miss Catherine Kiefer. And she was, God almighty, high 80s. And she was with the tourism...
Kiefer?
Kiefer,
Yes.
Catherine Kiefer. She had a 57 red and white Thunderbird that her husband gave it to her for her birthday when she's had it since new. And she worked for Elvis and for the Colonel, and I was wondering if you knew her.
Didn't know her personally, but I knew. I got to tell you a story there. I knew when I was traveling with in the summertime, I would stay with the Colonel at his house, and that was up in Hendersonville there, which is just outside of Nashville. And one breakfast morning, they were discussing business, and obviously I'm having breakfast with with the rest of them. And Colonel and his partner said, we really got to worry about these guys in Philadelphia. They're Haley and the Comets, and they're really like, how do we make Elvis, with this big competition up north from all those big record companies and stuff like that. So out of this conversation, someone, I don't know if it was the Colonel or his partner, and he said, when you're a king, everybody else is your subject. So right after that, Elvis was king of rock and roll.
King of rock and roll.
That's great.
Listen, I would love to have you come back for a longer interview before Christmas so we could get into some things in depth, because I still have more questions to ask you. But
Good.
we only have a half an hour left to the show.
Well.
They only give me 55 minutes a week.
But Jimmy's got 40 minutes of material still stored up.
I know,
Well,
so that's why we got to have it back on. before
Whenever you
Christmas.
need me, you know how to find me. Get a hold of George, and I hope you'll come and see one of my shows. And if please come to the Skokie Theater. George knows where that is. He's been very, very wonderful to support all of us like we support him, and the great things that he does in the writing world. And listen, life is to be enjoyed, and I'm here sharing it with you. And thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you
Happy
for
anniversary,
singing,
too.
and thank you so much.
Got it.
Good luck tonight.
Thanks, dear.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now we have some more phone calls.
Yeah, so the phone lines are lighting up right now, 847-931-1410. We'll go to the farthest one away. Let's go to Ellen in New York.
Oh, are you kidding?
Oh.
Hello?
Hello, birthday girl, anniversary girl.
Ellen in New York, how are you?
How are you, Laura?
I am fine. I am. Good thing I'm sitting down. What a surprise to get an anniversary call from New York.
Well, I'm happy to do it, and I just want to wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
With your shows.
Good. Maybe when you come in town, you'll stop in.
I'm going to try.
Good. Thank you so much for calling.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Again, the number here, 847-931-1410. I'm just going to put this person on.
That was a surprise and a half.
This might be two.
Okay.
Hello, you're on the air. Oh, you still there?
Hello?
Hi, anniversary girl. I guess you got the whole family lining up to bestow anniversary congrats on you.
Yes, I do. Thank you so much. I'm in shock that Ellen called from New York and she knew what was going on here. Thank you for calling.
She was live from Cornell University, by the way. My goodness gracious.
I know.
Laura, on behalf of myself, Radio Ron, the whole entire Chicago Fire Department, my daughters, Caitlin and Kristen and their band, the Fabulous Popular Rejects, and Horse-Drawn Productions, we just wanted to wish you a very happy one-year anniversary.
Thank you so much for calling, you guys. Give my love to the kids.
I will. They're practicing right now. They'll be going into the studio after Thanksgiving at Horse-Drawn, and they're going to finally do their sampler CD with all 6 songs, and they wanted me to tell Uncle George. Is Uncle George here?
Yes, he is.
George, where's he at? Tell him that we said hello, and always tell Mike and the gang and Jeff Myers and everybody. But my dear, congratulations on 1 year and many, many more to you.
Thank you so much.
And hello to your beautiful daughters, Ron. And happy Veterans Day.
Yeah, I was just going to say that Laura can pass on. Please tell everybody tomorrow. I know I've been a guest on your veteran shows in the past, George, that please stop and give thanks and just say thanks. It doesn't take but a few seconds to say thanks to a vet that you know. It means all the world to us.
It sure does. Thanks a lot for calling.
Okay.
Keep in touch.
Fun, Laura, and congratulations.
Bye-bye.
Not only is it Happy Veterans Day tomorrow, but it's also today the United States Marine Corps' birthday. Speaking about thanking a vet, let's go back to the phone lines, 847-931-1410. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hello, Laura.
And who is this?
This is the old Marine.
Which one? I have a few old Marine friends.
He was stationed on Camp Pendleton, so.
This is the oldest Marine from this morning.
This is the oldest Marine from this morning, from the cake cutting ceremony. Happy birthday.
Well, thank you, and congratulations on 1 year on the radio, and I hope you have many, many more.
Thank you for calling, Gordon, and say hello to Dorothy.
I will, and I'd like to thank all your crew.
I like to thank...
Myers. Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead. Nope, you go ahead. Jeff Myers.
Jeff Myers and Mike Hussinger and everybody connected with your show. You have great people working for you, and you are a great person. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you and Dorothy again.
Okay, thank you very much.
Semper Fi, pal. Semper Fi.
Semper Fi. Semper Fi.
Bye-bye.
At Elgin Community College, Gordon was earlier today.
Yes, absolutely.
A big event. Yeah, it was great.
Absolutely wonderful.
Told Iwo Jima stories. You got there and heard.
He's giving me sand.
Well,
he went back to Iwo Jima.
In 2006, he went there. Yeah.
He went and he brought a box of Iwo Jiman sand home, and he sprinkled it when he went on his honor flight tour. He sprinkled it on the Iwo Jima Monument in Washington, D.C., and today he had a cigar box full of it, and he let us put our fingers in it, and I asked him if I could have a little pinch.
Lucky you.
And he's going to give me a pinch of it in a vial. Isn't
Very
that nice?
Yes, it is good.
And Claire was there, Dr. Claire Leos, and she collects sand, and she's going to get a pinch too. And also she sent me some flowers and a wonderful card, and she's an extra special person. So thank you for the flowers, Dr. Claire.
847-931-1410. Back to the phone lines. We have another person on the air.
Hey, we're on the air. Who's calling?
Hey, we're on the air. Hi, Laura. It's Steve Thorin. I wanted to say happy anniversary to you.
Steve, where are you? Sounds like you're
in the car. I'm on Route 88 heading back to Geneva. I had an appointment, no fuss, but immediately got in the car and turned on your show.
And as you always do.
I do whenever I can, and I believe that since you've got Jeff and George and yourself there, now this is our fourth making up what our show was comprised of last Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
I wanted to thank you again for your involvement, and it was a pleasure having you over afterwards.
It was terrific. The show was great, and it was a great experience, and it was a great tribute to the troops.
Tell the class how many pieces of pizza she had, Steve, on Sunday night.
Shut up.
Yeah.
She only had a few pieces, and she didn't eat the crust.
6 pieces, did I not?
You
6,
could
7
restructure the
dishes?
tower building with the number of pieces, the pizza you had. No, but no crust.
However,
No crust.
Steve, stick up for me.
And
Did
no
I eat
crust.
the crust, or did I practice what I preach?
Yeah, no
You
crust.
didn't eat the crust. You did not eat the crust. I think Jeff only had 3 pieces, and George had